start. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. This is my refined self, right? Celebrate my anniversary all week long. But I'm going to go back to what I used to do by saying, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, and how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, and God loves you. Ooh, ooh. Yes, I am Edwina B. That God said, Edwina, rise today and give me glory, honor, and praise. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Glory, honor, and praise because He chose me to wake up this morning one more day during my celebratory week from my 32 years in recovery, one day at a time. And so I started a little early because I have some other gifts for you as I celebrate my anniversary in Alcoholics Anonymous, right? For the past 32 years, but one day at a time. And so with that, y'all know this time I dedicate a special song. And these last couple of days, I've been dedicating it to my mommy, Helen Hall Taylor, because my mama prayed for me. She had me on her mind. I'm so glad my mama prayed for me. And then I'm going to read what the AA reflection is for today. And then I'm going to continue my story from a couple years ago so that you can see the transformation. And also to let you know I ain't been lying. I've been telling the truth. I'm still transparent even then and even now. Okay. So let me first dedicate my song to my mama. Woo! I sung her this song on my TV talk show, Choosing a New Way of Life, a few years ago. Several years ago, while she yet lived. All right. So here we go. All right. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute, okay? This song is called Mama by Candy Stacy Candy.
I thought you'd like to know all those nights you paced the floor, praying I would make it home all right, believing God that He would someday save my soul. Well, He did, and I thought you'd like to know. I thought you'd like to know all those prayers you prayed for me. Never a one once fell to the ground. I know sometimes it looked like I was a million miles from grace. He answered your prayers, and I thought you'd like to know. Mama, I want you to know I love you. Please forgive me for all the times I broke your heart. Every tear you cried for me drew me closer to being free. I want to thank you, and I thought you'd like to know. Thought you'd like to know. I wish I could live my life again. If I could, I would surely make amends. But if I could help my brother a new life to discover, oh, I will. And I thought you'd like to know. Oh, Mama, I want you to know I love you. Please forgive me for all the times I broke your heart. wanna thank you, and I thought you'd like to know.
Wasn't that a beautiful song? I tell people, if your parents yet live, anybody that you love, care about, let them know while they yet live. I had a praying mother, all her 6 kids. She kept us together, bonded us together, refused to allow us to be separated. And my mother had 4 of her children addicted to one drug or another at the same time. I happened to be the worst. My mother said, that one, that one, that one, oh, that one. Lord, Lord, Lord. Yes, that one. The prodigal child, but deemed the smartest, right? That one. And she would often say, God, I'm so glad I only had one of her. But unknowingly time, I was the chosen one. Yes. So I'm celebrating 32 years, one day at a time, free from alcohol, drugs, and the whole lifestyle. And I was able to be prepared and blessed to take care of non-family members on hospice. It's either 8 or 9. And my mother was one of them. As a matter of fact, she was one of 3 I took care of at the same time. So you just never know what you're going to be prepared for when you are in a 12-step spiritual program, right? And so as a result of being prepared unknowingly to me, yes, I was chosen. And there were times when I did not think I had any of my mother's characteristics. No, she was a pushover. She was, yes, Eddie, yes, Eddie, yes, Eddie. And I was like, I don't want to be nothing like her, But come to find out, I have so many characteristics of my mom. Yes, I do. And I embrace them and I cherish them. Yes, so that's why I take this time to dedicate to my mother on my anniversary, because my mama prayed for me. All right, so now what I want to do is read you the reflection reading for today, February the 25th, and it says challenge of failure. And then I'm going to share with you a video that I did a few years ago and talked about my story. And I think yesterday it was what happened. And I think I'm on what it's like now. All right. And so if you missed it, please go back to my presentation from yesterday and catch up. All right. So, Alcoholics Anonymous, I do not represent, right? I've just been a proud, humble, and grateful member for 32 years, even though the program has been in existence for nearly 90 years. Okay. And so, as a result of this spiritual program, right, that offers spiritual steps, spiritual traditions, spiritual concepts, and a spiritual fellowship, the foundation is spirituality that will produce a psychic change. Once we put down the drink and the drug, it's all about our thinking. Yes. And so it's readings like this that helps us to focus on something, to evaluate what it's saying, to internalize, to analyze, and to be reminded that this day, this moment is all we have. Yes. And so if we get something spiritual early in the morning or any time of the day that can help redirect your energy, redirect your negativity into positivity, then come on with it. So let's read what it has to say for today. Now, you don't have to close your eyes because I got some other things for you. Okay, so let's read it together. All right. February the 25th, A.A. Daily Reflections, the challenge of failure. In God's economy, nothing is wasted. Through failure, we learn a lesson in humility, which is probably needed, painful though it is. As Bill sees it, page 31. How thankful I am today to know that all my past failures were necessary for me to be where I am now. Through much pain came experience, and in suffering, I became obedient. When I sought God as I understand Him, He shared His treasured gifts. Through experience and obedience, growth started, followed by gratitude. Yes, then came peace of mind, living in and sharing sobriety. I can't wait to dissect that. Oh, listen. But for right now, I want to continue part 2 of my video sharing my experience, my strength, and my hope about what happened, what it's like now. And guess what? You're in for a treat. I don't normally wear makeup. I just put on a little mask this morning just to kind of, celebrate my anniversary because I want to. But you better believe my insides match my outsides. I had no secrets. I done revealed everything that I tried to conceal because of the freedom I get in participating in my own recovery through the 12-step spiritual program of Alcoholics Anonymous. So you ready? All right, so let's go.
For me to not even get back to where I was. I don't want to go back to where I was. I don't want to go back to the way I used to think. No, I don't want to go back there. No, no, no.
Let
And
me get
so what I
together.
found out was
Let me get it together.
that I had to allow this process and to do the work that was necessary to change the negative into positive. As I stumbled forward, knowing that I am going to make mistakes, but the blessing is and the hope is not to keep making the same mistakes. And so, as a result of doing the work, getting involved, participating in my own recovery, putting God first, putting the 12-step program, like one on one hand and one on the other. Without those two, I'm nothing. With those two, the world is ours. The world is mine. The world is God. And so I believe that what happened to me was destined to happen to me in order for me to be sitting in front of you today. And so that's a little bit about what happened. What it's like now? Okay. What it's like now. Whew. I have two beautiful grown children. My son is a doctor of 7 years. He has a doctor of education and he works with boys who was teased like he was as a child. Your mom's a crackhead. She's a prostitute. She does this. She does that. But guess what? He could work anywhere in the world with his doctor of education degree. But he chose and chooses to work with at-risk boys and girls who were teased like he was as a child. And they love him. They respect him. And I'm so proud of him. My daughter, a breast cancer survivor, but she has her own construction company since she was 19 years old. She's 41 now. Yeah. And she's a head honcho inspector of license and inspection of the license for the city of Philadelphia. But guess what her special project is? Working with teenage girls who was used for sex trafficking. Why? Because I almost sold my daughter for drugs and my addiction. Y'all know what happens, right? And so we go around the country collectively talking about the disease of mental illness and substance abuse, but family restoration through Jesus Christ. Isn't that awesome? I'm presently getting my doctorate in biblical studies just to learn more about the guy who met me, delivered me from underneath that parked car. Yes, he didn't call me to preach. I just want to learn more about that God. And God knows, oh, I love him. I'm in love with him. I love Edwina today. Yes. And no matter what happens in life, I know I don't have to go back to drinking. I'm still working on my behaviors. They are lessening in degrees. Okay. I'm nowhere like I used to be. I am getting better and I am making progress. I won't be perfect. And I accept that today. I accept that today. And so having the ability to be in this thing called recovery, I've had jobs and working for the city of Wilmington, the mayor's office, police department, fire department, and I work as a consultant, as a recovery coach, as a model, as an actress. I even have a TV talk show, y'all. Yes, called Choosing a New Way of Life for the last 25 years. Yes, here on the cable network in Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah. So I go around the country and with my children and sometimes without, just to let people know that we do recover. So that's what it's like now. I have 7 beautiful grandchildren. One transitioned. Rest in peace, Brielle. And my grandchildren are reaping the benefits of this life called recovery. Spiritual recovery. Not just recovery, spiritual recovery. Because now I know that as human beings, we're twofold, right? Really 3. But there's a human side of us and there's a spiritual side of us. Most of us spend our lives catering to the human side of us. Now I understand what Donald Lawrence says when he said this part of his song. You are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being living this natural experience. I heard that. I heard that and I listened to that. So my goal every day is to feed more of my spirituality than my physical. And it's working. That's what it's like now. So the other beautiful thing I just want to share amongst those things is that I was able to take care of 7 family members on hospice, y'all. 7 family members on hospice. Me, the prodigal child, the black sheep of the family, right? And so as a result of being prepared for things yet to come, God chose me out of my mother's 6 children to take care of 7 family members on hospice. 3 at one time. My mother, my aunt, and my sister, who all transpired a few years ago. But it was the most beautiful, beautiful experience I've ever had because I got to see what it's like when we as human beings transition back to baby state of mind mentality. Yes. Hearing my mother ask for a cup of water in the middle of the night and being able to get my mother some water. Having my sister say, I'm thirsty too, and being able to get up and give her a glass of water. My Aunt Elsie, I want some water too. Very challenging, caregiving is, but very, very rewarding, which is going to be one of my books that I will be writing on, the beautiful gifts of being a caregiver. So that's what's a little bit like now. And I'm also writing I'm not going to call it my autobiography, I'm writing my reference book. Yes, it's going to be called my reference book with a subtitle, Call Me When You're Dying. Yeah. Call Me When You're Dying. That's what my book is going to be. Because I believe and know for myself that me, have to die in order for God to restore new life in me. So I was ready to die. I wanted to die. February the 22nd of 1990. But here it's October the 5th of 2019. And I'm well alive. Yes. To God be the glory. I have a testimonial clothing line. I make stuff like this. I don't look like what I've been through. Your grace and mercy. I wear designers' clothes in the past, but I only wear his testimonial clothes now because I want to be a walking testimony for somebody. I want them to be attracted. I'm not going to promote. I want them to be attracted by the way I live, the way I act, the way I behave. I said, you didn't used to be like that. No, because I'm not the same person anymore. So that's a little bit what it's like now. So I don't want to give it all to you. But listen, so one of the reasons why I put this video together is because I want to launch my 2020 tour, and I'm looking for venues where I can host a platform in order to share my testimony, avail my book and my clothing to those people who are interested in recovery. And guess what? I want it to be free. I want it to be free, yes. So in order to support those kind of things for my 2020 tour, I will be soliciting sponsors. Yes, sponsors who wants to expose their services, their products to a multitude of people. Because I want this information to be free. Do you hear me? Free. Free. It was freely given to me, and I want to freely give it to you. So we'll get the venue paid for. We'll get everything that we need paid for by soliciting sponsors. God revealed to me, and they said in our 12-step program, I just want you to do two things. Stay sober, stay clean, and help another person achieve sobriety. Stay sober and help somebody else. If you do those two things, watch the world open up to you. And I've been faithful in doing all those things. And so, as I conclude this brief testimony, I want to show you that I don't look like what I've been through. What you see now has not always been the case. Okay? I believe in taking off the mask. So when I do go on stage, I may have this on, but guess what? It comes off. And I show my beautiful mixed hair. Guess what else comes off? My shoes. I kick off my shoes. I want to be transparent. I want to be as raw and as appropriate as I can be, but I want to be totally transparent. And these pearly whites that you see now, they're not mine. But you would have to come to one of my speaking engagements to see what I look like without them. Can you imagine? Yes, I take them out, put them back in just to show authenticity. Crack cocaine and alcohol took my teeth. But God gave me not one set, no, 3 sets really. I just got to learn to keep them in my mouth. But to God be the glory. To God be the glory. I want y'all to continue to stay tuned and look for my upcoming tour in 2020, and hopefully I will come to a city near you. So if you want to contact me at Edwina, EDWINA .BL. Bell, BELL. So that's Edwina, EDWINA .Bell, BELL at yahoo.com. Or give me a call at 302-690-6679. I can come to your rehab. I can come to your organization. I can come to your sorority or fraternity event. I'm a speaker that will speak in the jail up to the White House. It doesn't matter, because this book of mine, legislation has it, because they need to know about the gaps in treatment. I share my testimony in this book in colleges because practitioners need to know how to work with people like us. I go to schools age appropriate to let children know that their parents are not bad parents. They're sick parents. I go to family counseling and therapists to let the family dynamics know that when that person who has been afflicted with mental illness and substance abuse get help, let the other family members get help too. Yes, everybody needs to heal simultaneously. Yes. I even go to the hit houses, the speakeasies, The bars, I don't stay, but I'll plant a book there just in case somebody one day say, I wonder what's that about. All my job is to plant seeds and let the growth, development, the nurturing, the watering be left up to who God has placed in that individual's life. So, if you want a speaker, if you want training, if you want a workshop, if you want a seminar, please call me 302-690-6679 or email me at Edwina, EDWINA .bell, BELL at yahoo.com. To God be the glory.
Add you to the screen. What did y'all wait a minute, y'all? Let me get all this stuff back together. All right. So what did y'all think? Huh? What did y'all think about that? What did y'all think about that? Huh? Let me get this thing together here. Huh? Huh? See what I mean? Now, as you can see, like I said, I believe in transparency. So y'all know and have seen me without my teeth. And if you was on my Facebook page yesterday, you saw me do an interview the whole hour without my teeth. I couldn't find them, right? But it goes to show how much I love myself and how much I know that God accepts me just the way I am. And more importantly, it is not about the messenger. It's about who God uses to deliver the message, right? So the message is the the focus, okay, not the messenger, all right? But God uses any and all people and things and situations and circumstances, as we know. All right, so now it's time for us to dissect, embrace, analyze, right? Evaluate, divulge the reading for today. The challenge of failure. So you ready? All right, now I don't see my coffee. All right, so here goes. All right, so now let's put it up again and let's read it together. Okay. And so we're going to say, right, February the 25th, AA Daily Reflections, the challenge of failure. Let's do this one, okay? And so it says, in God's economy, right? Think about that. In God's economy, we are all here. Everything that we are experiencing is about the Creator, right? And so in God's, the Creator's economy, nothing is wasted. Could you imagine? Do you hear what it says? It says in God's economy, nothing, wow, is wasted. I mean, just stop there, right? So in this creation that our Creator has created, created, right? Isn't that nice, right? And His creation, nothing is wasted. Could you imagine if we adopted that attitude? How our perspective, perception, attitude, understanding, comprehension would change if we recognize, internalize, analyze, evaluate, accept that nothing is wasted. Oh my God, that's powerful. And he goes on to say, through failure, we learn a lesson in humility. Let's stop there. Through failure, we learn a lesson in humility. All right, so let's go back. Think about somewhere in your lifetime, right? When you set out to do something, you had these plans, this great idea and everything, and you thought you were prepared and you did everything you supposed to do. And listen to the key word, I did everything I needed to do, you needed to do, right? But what we failed to realize then that we now know and accept, there were other outside circumstances that we were not in control of. Other people, other situations, other circumstances, right? So no matter what you thought that this was going to be, this was going to happen, this was going to, yeah. And when we put it into action, or we was about to put it into action, poof, it failed. Remember that feeling? Remember those thoughts that you had? Remember how you wanted to blame everything and everybody? Yes. And after it was all said and done, you had to recognize, I had to recognize, it was me and my expectations. Yes. And it was a failure. That brought about humility when I was able to blame nothing and nobody but myself. And not necessarily blame myself, but to accept the responsibility that it did not happen the way I projected, the way I wanted it to, right? The way I thought it would, right? When I accept that it did not work, Edwina, regardless of the situations and circumstances, that's humility. When I can admit that it did not work. That's humility. And in some cases, the feeling that I initially felt was humiliation. Oh man, I'm no good. La da. I was humiliated because I was trying to save my face. What they gonna think? What they gonna say? She said this. Oh, look at her now. So through humiliation came humility, but that failure, like it said, brought about humility. So let's go and dissect some more, okay? It says here, through failure, we learn a lesson in humility, which is probably needed, painful though it is. Did you hear that? We learn a lesson in humility. I've learned that any and everything that we go through on this journey called life is all about lessons. I didn't learn that until I got into the 12-step program, right? It's all about learning lessons. Now, listen. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so guess what? There will come a time in our lives that we will look at situations as devastating, as failures, as this, as that, all negative, instead of, wow, what was the lesson in that situation? What was I supposed to learn by that mistake? See, that's humility. The other one is ego and pride, right? Our ego and pride got wounded, right? But when we practice humility and we recognize, okay? So, and oftentimes it is so painful, but guess what's really painful? Our ego and our pride. Truth be told. All right, so let's get to some more of the nitty gritty here, right? And this comes from As Bill Sees It, page 31. And so the person in recovery, from his perspective, he writes, right? This is what he writes. And then I'll, of course, share my perspective, right? And I'll share my perspective. And so he says, how thankful I am today Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. How thankful I am today. So let's get in touch with our thankfulness for this moment, for this day. See, I told you I hone in on words and I don't take for granted, right? And I want us to get this, right? So when we talk about how thankful, right, I am today, are you thankful that you woke up this morning? Yesterday we shared about an attitude of gratitude. Are you thankful that you can see, that you can walk, you can breathe? Are you thankful? Are you thankful right now that we are engaging in real life stuff that's based in spirituality and not BS? Are you thankful? Yes. Huh? So get in touch with being thankful, right? Right now, and thankful, right? Thankful, right? Am I thankful today? So how thankful I am today, what? To know that all my past failures was necessary for me to be where I am now. And you know, that's the beauty of this program. It really simplifies things when we trying to make it real complicated. Now, think about it. I'm sitting here in my house, in my bedroom, in my makeshift studio, right? And so in recovery, we learn to go back into our past, not to find out what's wrong with us, but to find out what happened to us. But obviously, and apparently, it took all of that to bring me right here, right now, this moment. Somebody said that, Weena, you talking about being here, you talking about being there. Somebody said, look down at your feet. Where are your feet? They right here. Well, that's where you are. This is your present. This is your present. So let's go back and review how you got to your present. So that means it took all of that to get where you are today. You know, and so Alcoholics Anonymous can stand for attitude adjustment. All we have to do is adjust our attitude and we'll get a different perspective, right? So let's continue, right? It says here, how thankful I am today to know that all my past failures were necessary for me to be where I am now. Through much pain came experience. Let's stop there. Through much pain, huh? Through much pain came experiences. So think about all the pain you have endured from the time in the past up until now. And that pain have given me some experiences. Oh, yes. But guess what? Through the pain, we gained experience and we are now here. So what we need to do is to go back and evaluate, analyze all of that pain and see what experiences we have learned or gained from that pain. Okay? Oh, that's why I love recovery. It's so simple, right? Right? It says, through much pain came experience, and guess what? In suffering, I became obedient. You know, we have in our fellowship a saying that pain is a motivating factor in our lives. That in order for us to really experience humility, that we just have to go through some pain. Why? Because our ego and pride wants to think that we got all the answers, we can do it, we're in control, and then reality hits and says, oh, hell no. You're going to fall down. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get turned around. Guess what? And it ain't going to feel good at all. So rather than retreat into the corner or into the bed with your cover over your head, no, recovery teaches us to come out the closet, come out that bed, and let's evaluate the pain. And let's evaluate the suffering. And through that pain and suffering, what did we have to do to lessen the pain, lessen the suffering? All we had to do was to become obedient. Woo! You know how? I'm a tangible person. I like to keep it simple. You go to the doctors for this, and that, and they evaluate. Now they say, with your discharge papers, take this home, read the instructions, do A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now, you in pain, right? And you got instructions, right? And all you have to do in order to lessen the pain or your suffering is to comply with what they said. Ego and pride said, oh, hell no. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And you're not obedient. And guess what? You get more pain and you get more suffering. So it's amazing how through our disease of alcoholism, we went through so much pain. We went through so much suffering. We did some insane things. Yes, we hurt a lot of people, and most importantly, we hurt ourselves. Yes. Until we had that knee-bowing experience where the pain and the suffering was so tremendous, great. Oh, my God. Underneath that parked car 32 years ago, I was in pain. And all I had to do was, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Whatever you say I need to do, wherever you say I need to go, I am obedient. Show me the way. Show me the path. I will go. I want to go. I need to go. I'm going. Obedient. Huh? Woo. I am so glad I know what obedience is by me making my meetings every day for 32 years. Oh my God, love it, right? And so I'll read it again. How thankful I am today to know that all my past failures was necessary for me to be where I am now. Through much pain came experience, and in suffering, I became obedient. When I sought God as I understand him, he shared his treasured gifts. You hear what it says? When I sought God, the creator, the force, when I sought. That's what that knee-bowing experience is going to do for each and every one of us. Whether you're going through addiction of love, addiction of sex, addiction of lust, addiction of workaholic, and all kind of stuff. Every knee shall bow. And guess what? All of those painful experiences, all that suffering was necessary and designed for each and every one of us to have that knee-bowing experience where we had no other choice but to seek him. And my cry was, whoever they say you are, I don't know you. I thought you were punishing God as my parents and others taught me. I thought, listen, I don't know you, but take me out this life now or show me a better way now. Yes, that pain, that suffering, I didn't want to live one more second of it, right? And so it says in our literature, right? No human power could have relieved our alcoholism. No, it says probably, but no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. The next line says God could and would if he was sought. So we sought God, right? As we understand him, And guess what he provided, right? He shared his treasured gifts, right? And the gifts of sobriety is what he gave to us, right? And through the gift of sobriety, we are experiencing gifts beyond our wildest dreams. Okay, I got a couple minutes. Okay, then it says, through experience and obedience, growth started, followed by gratitude. So you see the experience in the suffering, right? Right, right, huh? And being obedient, right? Right? And I got you where I am today, right? Huh? With that spiritual growth, right? Right? I have an attitude of gratitude. Oh, I am one grateful recovering alcoholic who believes, who lives, the spiritual programs provided by Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, yes, this was the path that my God chose for me. And my gift to him was two things: stay sober, Edwina, and help another alcoholic achieve sobriety. All human beings are ill to some extent, and all human beings can benefit from the 12 spiritual principles. Just substitute whatever you're going through, with alcohol, and how that situation or whatever it is has caused your life to be unmanageable. And once we admit that, then we apply the remaining 11 spiritual steps. Watch the spiritual experience that will create a spiritual awakening, that will cause you to have a spiritual transformation, to adopt a psychic change. I tell you what. So then it says, yes, then came peace of mind. Then came peace of mind, y'all. In the midst of what's going on around us, in the world, in society, in the midst of all of that. And what now? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about your life? What are you going to do about your situation? Who are you going to help? Who are you going to feed? Who are you going to give shelter? What are you going to do? And what's the next right thing to do? But no, what's the next right spiritual thing to do? We can pray for people. We can assist people. We can share with our fellow human beings, right? Right? The miraculous miracles that happen in a 12-step program. Yes. And so I have peace beyond understanding, y'all. Yes. Why? Because I'm living in and sharing sobriety. You see that? Living in and sharing sobriety. See, I don't look like what I've been through. Did y'all see that? I don't look like what I've been through. Ooh, ooh. All right, y'all. It's time for me to go, right? But again, failures, nothing but stepping stones. Oh, I'm so glad I have a new attitude. I'm so glad I have experienced a psychic change. I'm so glad I use the serenity prayer often, not just with situations, but with people too. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, give me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, courage to change the person that I can, and the wisdom to know that that person is me. Woo! All right, so we don't want you to fail with dying from COVID-19. We don't want you to fail by causing the death of someone else. So through the failures of others, let's learn from their experience, their failures, their sufferings. Put on the mask. Get vaccinated, get tested, get your booster shot, right? Wash your hands, social distancing, right? All of that. So that our gift back to God is what his gift is to us. He loves us. We love ourselves. Therefore, we can love other people. We are born to serve. All right. So if it's God's will, we be back tomorrow. Huh? And I just hope you enjoyed this. And in the future, I will put my contact information. So if you want me to come and share my experience, strength, and hope, my Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops self. If you ask me to come now, you know what to expect. Not Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. But if nobody told you they love you today, I love you. I love you. You love me. We are one big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me for you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you. I love you. I love you.